Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been very like 1 year I haven't uploaded. It's because a lot is going on, which I'm not going to be telling. It's censored out for my privacy. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about asteroids. Yes, and I got to know from a lot of you guys that my videos are boring. I just noticed it, and it's because I don't have animation, I don't have graphics, my handwriting is not pretty. I know it's terrible. But besides the fact everything is nice. So I decided to come back with a little bit of glow up kind of thing for my work. So that maybe you guys might get interest in studying with me. I know. Interesting. Okay, so today we're gonna be talking about asteroids. So this is like a slideshow presentation kind of thing, but I'm just like putting it into context of what we're gonna be learning. Anyway, let's start. Introduction. So, introduction is like where I'm probably going to be introducing you to asteroids and a little bit more about them, and we're going to move our way forward from easy to hard and go more in depth later. Okay, what are asteroids? Have you guys ever wondered what asteroids are? Me too. So, basically, they're small rocky objects that orbit the sun. So, people ask, are they planets? I mean, are you stupid? Literally. There's a big difference between asteroids and planets. Asteroids don't have atmospheres, and planets do. Now, what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is the layer above us. Yeah, like below the Earth and above us. It's like a big layer which has like many 10 smaller layers in it, which is like, where our gases and stuff comes up. Yeah, that's what atmospheres are. And a lot of planets have them, but asteroids don't. So, yeah, that's one of the major differences between asteroids and planets. Fun fact! So a fun fact is that almost everybody should know. There's an asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter that has more than 1 million asteroids to be specific. I know, a lot. But to be actually specific about it, it has around 1.1 to 1.9 million asteroids. As you can see with my cursor, this enormous chunk of look like balls over here. Stop. Don't think dirty, okay? Looks like balls is actually a bunch of asteroids. So you can see that Mars and Jupiter have a big layer in between. That's where all the asteroids are. Yeah, I know. Now, how are asteroids formed? In the early solar system, which the Big Bang theory comes in, dust particles collided, forming very larger clumps of planet simisols. Planet simisols. So these are like larger clumps of stuff. As an atom, it keeps growing. Then there's these large clumps of atoms inside, or like protons and neutrons, as I explained in my last video. If you haven't watched it, I'll list the link in the description box below, and you can go check it out later after this video. Anyway, if you want to understand more about it. So, as I said, those larger clumps, same goes over here. Dust particles collided and forming larger clumps called planetesimisals. So some grew larger enough to form planets by attracting more dust with their gravitational pull and feels like pushing the whole thing in. And other persisted means that they didn't have that much gravitational pull, so they became little and they kept became now called as asteroids. Now, what's the difference between an asteroid and meteor? This is one of the things that people get very confused in. Don't mind me just putting like two memes. Should I read it out for you? No, I shouldn't. I'm being dumb now. You guys can pause the video if you want to see the meme. Anyway, as I told, there's asteroids or small rocky objects that orbit the sun, and on the other hand, meteors are also known as shooting stars, which are very pretty. But before, we need to know the first state of meteors. Then only we would be able to understand what meteors actually are. So there's different stages of meteors, which vary from different to different. But then to understand the basic concept, we gotta start from first, and then you guys will be able to understand what meteors actually are. So first stage of meteors is called meteorites, and they're much smaller rocks or particles that circle the sun. And all those after that, meteors, the basic topic we were talking about, to compare to asteroids. The meteors are when a meteoroid vaporizes in the Earth's atmosphere. it becomes a meteor, also known as a shooting star. So vaporizes, as the word says, vaporizes is like evaporates in the, what do I say? You know, the atmosphere of the Earth that we talked about earlier, and then it becomes a meteor, which is also known as a shooting star. That's why when you're standing outside in the rain, you would notice one day that there's this big thing, like a line kind of thing going by. That's what it is, a meteor. Now, I have a very inspirational quote. Hope you guys understand it. I've been got to know that a lot of people don't tend to have motivation to study, including me. So that's why this is a mini motivational quote kind of thing that I want to read out to you guys. And maybe after reading it, most of you guys get inspired and, work your goals and become, whatever you want to become in life. Okay, let's read it. Don't tell me that sky's the limit. Yes, a very famous catchphrase, sky's the limit, when there are footprints on the moon. Wow, that simply means that there's no limit to your goals, to your success, to whatever you want to do in life, when there are literally footprints on the moon. And it's said by a very famous singer, dancer, Astrid Hofferson Haddock. Anyway, proceeding further, now let's go into the different types of asteroids. Another meme. I want to People will ask me now, oh my god, why did you put meme in between a studying session? It's because a lot of students, including me, don't actually tend to, what do I say, get like we get really easily distracted when there's this one boring lecture going on, which I don't want to give you guys. I want you guys to stay entertained and watch the video and understand the basic concept what I'm trying to teach about asteroids. That's why I included mini memes, quotes, funny stuff, inspirational stuff, so that you guys want to keep, studying, so that you can go further in life. Anyway, besides all that, are there any different types of asteroids? There are. So NASA has proved that there are three board composition of asteroids that can be classified into C minus, S minus, and M minus. Talking more in detail, the C type is the chondrite, and they are the most common asteroid. As you can see right here. After those comes the S type, the stony asteroids, comprises silicate materials and nickel and iron. Then we have the last type, the M type, and they're metallic nickel iron. Literally. When you notice the M1 and the S1, they look a bit similar, but also very different at the same time. The M1 is a bit more chunky and metallic, and the S1 is a bit more smooth. So, the composition of asteroids varies according to their distance from the sun. That's a very important point to remember. So, if you have the sun and there are asteroids at different galaxies, it will always vary what kind of composition they have. Some might be the common ones, some might have nickel and iron, some might even be silicate materials or stony ones. Anyway, after the asteroids are formed and partially melted, some experience high temperatures with iron sinking to the center, forcing a basaltic lava to the surface. This simply means that after they're formed and partially melted at the same time, some experience high temperatures, like very high, with iron sinking in the center. So like when it goes in the center, the iron that's on the top of the surface would sink down to the bottom, which would force a basaltic volcanic lava to the surface. And that's why these are made of nickel and iron. I know, interesting. And last but not least, we have some classifications. So, how many classifications do we have? We have three different types. Now, I know this is a lot to read, but let me tell you. And let's picture so that guys understand. There are two types of classifications. The first one is the mere asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. So, look at the main asteroid. Since I already discussed about it, I will not tell you anything about it, and I want you guys to think what that is, but I will summarize it up for you a little bit. So those are mini asteroids, that's what your hint is. Now guys gotta figure out what I said. Now let's talk about the second classification, which are the Trojans. So these asteroids that orbit a larger planet but do not collide with it because they congregate around two specific points in the orbit, known as the L4 and the L5 Lagrangian points. There, the sun's and the planet's gravitational pulls are balanced by Trojan's proclivity to fly out of orbit. Jupiter Trojans are the most numerous population of crashing asteroids. They're thought to be numerous as the asteroids in the asteroid belt. Mars and Neptune Trojans have been discovered, and NASA announced the discovery of an Earth Trojan in 2011. I know you guys are like, what the hell did you just say right now? Let me just tell you in the basic summary. So, these are asteroids which roam around big planets, but they don't collide because they have two specific points that they're meant to be in. And now, if there's a sun and the planet's gravitational pull, it's always balanced by Trojans. Yeah, and some of the most populated Trojans are located in Jupiter, and NASA even found it in Earth in 2011. Now, the third classification of asteroids are the near Earth asteroids, which, as the name suggests, are near the Earth. But if explained with more depth, then these asteroids are asteroids that are depending on how far away from the sun they're formed, asteroids composition differ. So let me just show you through picture-wise. As you can see, this is the first picture. Now this blue chunk is the asteroid belt. And next we have is this. These are the Trojans. And now this you're like, what the hell is like Marshy going on? No, that ain't no party. That's all the asteroids that are close to Earth. I know. I'm just like, yeah, that's a lot. Like a lot of them. Anyway, now let's move on. So we're coming to end pretty soon. I would just like to share a little bit of three more fun facts that you guys might interested. So Jupiter's rotation period is literally 9 hours, 55 minutes, and 22 seconds. And the sun's mass compared to the Earth is like 30, 33, excuse me, um, 333,000 times more than the Earth. And the distance between Earth and the Moon is 386,000 kilometers. 3,800 kilometers, 1,000 kilometers. Oh my god, that's hilarious. By the way, thank you guys for, what do I say, listening to my presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any social media platforms. Those links I'll leave in the comments, well, in the description box below, or you can even comment below on my video, and I'll make sure to reply to you. Anyway, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye, guys.